Doyle. Whoa.
You in the back, pay attention.
Our dopamine. Oh, I got that fix. Whoa.
You in the back, pay attention.
Rimas for Captain Coder.
Doyle. Seems good.
Our dopamine. Oh, I got that fix. Whoa.
Stream is starting. The Captain Coder at the helm. Bean water is ready. Today we will learn a lot. He loves the questions, he loves to sing. Join our Discord and follow him.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you happen to be in the world. Captain Coder here on this beautiful beautiful Monday morning for me. I hope everyone's having a beautiful day. It's so wonderful to have you here. Oryx, that is. I believe it's AI generated. Dekirk Sijian got that in there for us. Thank you again, once again, so much, Dekirk Sijian, for all the help you do, for all the things you've done for the stream, for being so amazing. It's so wonderful to be here. So wonderful to be back in the day. I can wake up and code. Is a beautiful day. Today is one of those days
Seems
because I'm
good.
here coding with you, beautiful crew,
Doyle.
you wonderful people. Solomon C, congratulations on your exclamation point first, my friend. Nice job. Nice job. Infinitani, welcome back. Number 2, that's right. Oryx, great to see you again. Idrint, happy Monday. 1 p.m. and you just had a pancake. Pancake in the morning, pancake in the evening. You can have a pancake anytime. That's what I always learned. That's what I always heard. It's what I know. It's what I know. Clayman, I hope you're having a beautiful day. Welcome back to the stream. It's wonderful to have you here. Corfliss, I hope you've been well, my friend. Getting there, approaching that. Smab is number 6. It's true, Smab. But Smab, really, are you number 6 or are you number 1? Are you number 6 or number 1? Snap, welcome back to the stream. It's great to see you. Corfliss, I hope you're doing well. Dramulks, always a pleasure to have you here. Code Monk, how you been, my friend? How's everybody been? I hope everyone's doing wonderful. Hope everyone's having a fabulous, incredible, wonderful, special day. BK, I'm doing absolutely wonderful, my friend. BK, I know you're asking when the next showcase is. I think I have to cancel this month's showcase. I'm just too busy with work. And then I know it's a sad thing. Next
Our
month we're gonna
dopamine.
have a
Oh, I
game
got
jam,
that fix.
and so I don't think the
Oh.
next showcase is gonna be until July. Oh my goodness, next showcase isn't gonna be until July. And if I'm being honest, let me look at July's calendar. Well, hang on. Next month, June. You know what? Oh, yeah, I can't do it next month. I can't do one on June. I can't do it in June. It's going to be so long. The showcase, we do community showcases, Solomon C, where we bring everyone, bring people onto the stream. We talk about the projects they're working on. We live stream it. We take a look at it. Focus on your finals. I'm so sad. So the next one's probably not going to be until July. Probably not going to be until July, but that's okay. Nikki B. Hobby, and welcome back to the stream. It's so nice to have you here, folks. If you guys don't know Nikki B. Hobbyin', folks. He don't be slacking. Nikki don't be he be hobbyin'. Nikki be hobbyin'. Enjoying the couple days off right now. I think it is early stream. Yeah, welcome in. Great to have you here. Grumpy, thank you so much for the raid. Have a beautiful day, my friend. I love your validating fridge idea. Keep that idea up. Keep it going. Love it. BK, welcome to your lurk mode. Thank you so much for hanging out. Smab, it's wonderful to have you here. Folks, welcome back to Captain Coders Academy. Did I update my wet command? What did my wet command do? Well, that's right. We're working on our Tactics Combat Game engine. I'm changing it from a Tactics Combat Game to a Tactics Combat Game engine because I want it to be pretty scriptable. If I miss something in chat, feel free to at me. I often miss things here at the beginning of the day. A lot of times, just miss things in chat. I am a little too harsh on myself sometimes. Oh, can't talk this morning. Welcome back, everybody. Here we are. Oh, where'd my face go? My face was gone. I turned the chat. I hit some button. The chat was not on. Was the chat not on this whole time? Disappoint. I am disappointed. That's okay. Firefox wants me to take a survey. I'll pass. All right. We are working on our tactics engine. We're making slow. I was realizing we're on day 8 today, but really I've only done, I've actually worked on this. I've almost exclusively on stream. We're on day 8 and on stream, 2-3 hours at a time. And so I was going like, man, I feel like I almost have nothing done. It feels no progress has been made or very little progress. We don't have that much, but I've only been working on it. I've really only done a couple hours. This term, I've just been so busy. Oh, my Discord time is wrong. Here, let's fix that. On Discord, the stream timing is wrong because daylight savings time happened. So these times changed. Let's go update these. Let's go get Discord timestamp. Yeah, exactly, Smab. I've been doing all the stuff I've been doing off stream has been kind of a learning process for me. All right, so let's update this to 4 a.m. Short, long time. There we go. That right? Short time, yeah. Copying. And let's come in here and update these. Boop. Boop. I've been learning so much. And I'm not super familiar with Blazor. Is the other one, then this should be to 7 a.m. Copy to clipboard. I wake up pretty early, Solomon C. I wake up pretty early. You gotta wake up pretty early to wake up before the Captain Coder, it turns out. But yeah, I get up around 3 a.m. at most days. There we go. Updated it. Sorry that it was all right, then we'll do a little thing. Last updated on 5/6/2024. Daylight savings time. Somehow I had the wrong date in there.
Whoa.
Code Red Games. Thank you so much for the raid. Oh, we've got Code Red Games. Thank you so much for the raid. After working on this project, I'm back working on a Blazor project of my own. And man, that's awesome. I'm having a lot of fun with Blazor. I talked to C# Fritz the other day. Let's give a shout out here. Code Rad, thank you so much for the raid. Thank you so much for the follows. Where's the code? Where is it? Code Rad Games. Folks, you guys don't know Code Rad Games, you got to go check him out. Incredible game, Rogue Blight that he's working on, making progress. And he won second place in a competition with, Pixel Pitch. Podcast won second place, won $5,000 to help work on this game for some art. Code Red, how's your stream going? Tell us all about it. Folks, go check out Rogue Blight. You see this link here, you got to click on that. You got to go check it out. Add it to your wish list. You can join the play test. Go play it. Game looks awesome. Fantastic game. JJ Jack or J Jack Studio, Yash, XYZ, thank you so much for following. J Jack Studio, thank you for following me today. And Yash, thank you for following me. Oryx, let's get a hat on this deck. That's crazy. We haven't had a hat yet. Oh, got a bonus hat. 2 hats, 1 hat. Corpless, thank you for the hat. Oryx, thank you for the hat. Let's get another hat added onto the stack. There we go. Thank you for the hats. Thank you. Tawny with the hat. Let's get another hat. Tawny with the bonus hat. We got 1 hat, 2 hat, 3 hat, 4 hat, red hat, blue hat, green hat, 1 hat, 2 hat, red hat, blue hat. Need to get a red hat. Need to get a blue hat so I can say that while I'm putting them on. Red hat, blue hat, green hat. Green hat, we got another hat to Faz. Thank you for the hat. Welcome back to the stream. Wrong button. I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. There we go. We did it. Thank you for the hats. Code Red. If you got a rating run, no worries, my friend. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for popping in Dragon Spirit Games. Welcome back, Tom's. Wonderful to have you here. Whew. Breathing hard. We're hardly breathing. Am I breathing hard or hardly breathing? I don't know. One of those, maybe both. Probably both. Okay. All right. So let's show what we got. We're learning, we're practicing, we're trying out new things. I'm not in a game jam, so I'm not rushing to just get something out and working and just like hacked together. I'll show you what I have so far. Not much, but I am pretty happy with where we are on it. Tom's, thank you for the hat redeem. Let's get another hat added to the stack. Here we go. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hats. Not bad. But yes, man, I've learned a lot. You're absolutely right. It's a learning process. This is all we really have. We have a board. We can move figures around. What was the bonus hat? Bonus hat is the second command there. And then we can add figures to the board. We can change the shape of the board, so we can draw new tiles onto the board. Tom, thank you for the second hat. Let's get another hat added to the stack. I keep pressing the wrong button. Thank you for the hat. There we go. Not bad. We can remove tiles. Can erase tiles like that. We can't in the editor. We actually can't remove figures. We need like a thing where I click on and I get information about the figure. Time to find homie puts. Time to find put homie adds he owns. I don't understand. I feel like autocomplete gotcha on that or something. How many gotcha? We have 22 hats. I think we have 22 hats. We've had a hat stack overflow a few times. Take some time, but yeah, we fixed the bug here. Or maybe. Or thanks, Jeff. Okay. Thank you for that. Why did I say that? I feel like I need to actually have fewer hats. I feel like I need to use fewer hats because right around 10, they do start getting excessively heavy. And but we'll see. Usually if it's gonna it's when we get to like 20, 10, 16 hats, and then you guys stop putting more on, then I start getting leaning to one side. It's all Minty Crown. Here we go. Going for it. Tani, enjoy your lurk, my friend. Claim the hats. Come for the hats. Stay for the hats. It's expensive. Oryx. You know, buying one hat's not that big, like 500 points, not that big of a deal. But then you start realizing, oh, if I buy a hat every day, it's a little bit rough. Oni, welcome back. Great to have you here. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Okay. There's so many things I want to be able to do. This is our board editor. So we're making a tool for creating. Yeah, you know, I feel slightly embarrassed every time people come out like nothing's changed. This is like day one stuff, but we have been like massaging the code. This is our board editor. Yeah. So we're making a game based on a board game. Okay, so you have figures. These green tiles here represent a figure on the board. So we're building out our board editor. So I want to be able to make scenarios. One of the things that I really want to focus on with this game is I want to be able to, it needs to be scriptable too. So I want it to be custom. It's not just like I have like 10 monsters in mind. No, I want a whole editor so you can make new, I'm crazy. I want a whole tool where you can make new enemies, can make new monsters, can make new things to place on the board. So customizable. They have different possible properties on them. So we spend a lot of time making sure we can save these. If I save, we can reload them. We can actually zoom in and out. That's just not. There's no control for it, but you can actually zoom in and out. I haven't added that control yet. So there's a lot of different things that we can do. The visual aspect of it's not great yet, question mark. Will it ever be great? Who knows? But let's look at what do I want to do today? You like to, but I'm sure you will do it. You need some way to see which mode you're in. Like, yes, Mab. I need, we have different tiles. Yeah. So what I want to do is this panel here needs to change based on what you have selected. So if you're in add tiles, it will have like drag tiles that have like different shape drawing tools, that type of thing. If you're in figures mode, these are the figures you have. I also want to make it where if I click on a figure, and that's what we're going to do today or next. I shouldn't say today because likelihood of actually finishing today feels low. But maybe not. What I want, well, actually not that bad because our figures are so tiny. They have no information really in them. But I want to make it so if we click on a tile, that tile's information gets loaded up over here. And this is where you can actually delete the tile. But I want to be able to change properties of the tile. Maybe it's just delete. I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, if we go look at our wiki, we have this idea of an enemy. Okay, so an enemy card's going to define a type of enemy. These figures will actually most likely be an enemy. This should be enemies table, really. I have an enemies table that we open up, or some kind of palette. When we click on a thing, I actually don't know that we edit it in the figure editor. Because it would change the definition, the blueprint to all of these things. Instead, a figure needs to reference. Oh no, I just spilled coffee on myself. I'm so sad. It's okay. So I need to think about how do I want to deal with that? I think I need to add in a monster. An enemy card type next, so that we can actually make these. We need to find the type of figure that an enemy has. So an enemy card also needs to specify the figure that's associated with it. That's interesting. Why not have save 2 positions for a tile, the position in the figured list, the old position when the tile cannot be placed. Check the old position. If it is not null, if null, fall back to the list. If exist, fall back to that to delete, return to list. Oh, so deleting it's not an issue. It's like, what do I want my interface to look like? How do I, manage the data to keep it, I want to manage the code. The code, I want to make sure it's simple. I do think when I select a figure, some information would be nice over here. Also, I need some niceties for drawing stuff. I think I want to work on implementing my enemy card type. So an enemy card, you can think of an enemy as a class, defines a type of enemy. And these are the attributes on the enemy. We haven't even defined what attack roll or abilities are yet, but I know I'm going to need those on them. Make a struct for the block. See, I don't understand. So you're, let's see, why not save 2 positions for a tile? The position in the figure list, the old position. I don't know what old position means in this context. When the tile cannot be placed, check if the old position is null. I don't understand your suggestion, Solomon. See, I'm sorry. Why am I obsessed with dopamine? Look, once you get that first hit, it just, you need more dopamine every time. Dopamine rush. Let's look at the issues that we have. We're going to have to rotate. Thank you for the dopamine.
I got that fix. Whoa.
Well, we can still... What do I need the last position for? I don't understand that. Are you talking about maybe doing an undo? Like implementing an undo redo system? I think I want to define an enemy card here. Apparently I do have a copy command. That's funny. I didn't even know that. I think I need to define an enemy data type. So I think I'm going to start with defining just an enemy data type here. Yeah, we have that. If you try and move it out of bounds, it moves it back. So watch Solomon say I let go, boop. It does snap back. So if I try and overlap it, we do have an invalid position. It just goes back to where it was. Sorry, I thought you were referring to like me wanting to be able to delete these things from the board. Oh yeah, we fixed that. Okay. No, we fixed that. Yeah, so we went through like 10 iterations. We went through like 10 different iterations of it. And ultimately I decided to go with nullable null. So figure tool feels weird here a little bit. There's some refactoring I think we're going to have to do, creating like a drag, something where we're actually moving and dragging objects. But it's pretty straightforward here. I spent a lot of time playing around with the idea of an option monad and decided that the option monad does not work well with stateful operations. It made my code, as much as I liked it, I felt it wasn't very C# code, C#-ish. So C# programmers would look at it and be like, what's going on with here? The option monad, I feel, is not conducive to working. It is great for data transformation. Yeah, C#, that's right. The option monad is really quite nice for data transformation, but in functional, but I don't think it mixes well when I have stateful operations. Yeah, Smab. So I think it makes a lot of sense when you're working in pure non. I've used it very successfully in OCaml, very successfully in Haskell. I think there were parts of my code where I was using, I was like, oh, this feels really nice. It didn't feel great here. And it was related to having these functions that are mutation functions. Solomon, so you're almost there. Just a few more points. You'll get there. So I think we need a Bugatti command too. I think and I have to look into it a little bit more. I think it's related to these stateful operations. I think if my board was a purely functional data type that was immutable, and when I call add figure, it actually mutates the board. It like gives me back a new board. I think that might actually make it work nicely, where we just have like these chain calls where it just looks like link. The problem is it's not just a series of link calls. It's like I'll do a few link calls and I have to do a match to see if I have a none. So it's like I'm doing these if statements. That said, I haven't used it enough in C#. In the C# context, I think it makes things confusing. Because of that, it's not a linear thought process. It's the same thing with the state monad. You wouldn't use a state mode. Typically, you wouldn't use a state monad in C#. because you can do stateful things. You can have side effects. In Haskell, you would end up using something called the state monad. You can't have side effects, so your data transforms in a way that mimics having statefulness. Anyway, I feel this solution is quite simple. SMAB really helped me identify this and convinced me.
Whoa.
The Dev Dad, holy moly, let's get another hat. Let's get a hat on our head. Welcome to the stream, Dev Dad. Thank you so much for the raid. Oh my goodness. Thank you for the hats. Thank you for the hats there, Akira. Welcome back to the stream, Solomon C with another hat. Let's get another hat. All right. Get another hat. My arms. They're not long enough. We gotta zoom out. Thank you for the hat. Oh, sorry, you need 500 channel points for the hat. Thank you so much for being here. Whale Prime, thank you so much for being here. Whale Prime, I would like to welcome you today. Thank you for the hat. Billy Ikanda, thank you for the hat. Dragon Spirit with another hat. Let's get another hat on top of here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I feel pretty. Solomon C with the bonus hat. Let's get another hat added to the top of this stack here. This one's gonna help secure it on top here. Dev Dad, thank you so much for the raid. How was your stream? Dev Dad Akira, just squandering those points. That's okay. No, it's points well spent. Points well spent. Dev Dad, thank you so much for the raid. How was your stream? Folks, if you guys don't know the Dev, I'm gonna do it wrong again. Dev Dad. Boom, there it is. Go check out the Dev Dad, folks. Incredible streamer, father, software engineer extraordinaire. Thank you so much for the raid. We love Dev Dad's always streaming right before the Captain Coder gets up. I'm always hanging out over there in the Dev Dads as well. Trying to make him do Tetris on a treadmill. Yeah, we had to drop the Tetris command just because it was waking people up. C#, my language. Yeah, we're doing some Eimer. I'm gonna call you Eimer. Unless you want me to call you something, let me know if you want me to call you something else. We're doing some C# stuff. All right, folks. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thelbra Dev. I would like to welcome you. Thank you for following me. Thank you for the follow, Thelbra. Welcome to the stream. John Lou Official. John Lou Official has followed the Captain Coder. John Lou. Welcome to the crew. I'd like to welcome Jan Lou. Thank you for following me today. Jan Lou, thank you for following me. I'm off dem Hund. Thank you for following me today. I'm off dem Hund. I feel like I might be saying something inappropriate there. I don't know if that's true, but thank you so much for the... Oh, there's a... Yes, based on Eimer auf der Hut. Eimer. I'm going to call you Eimer, though. Eimer, thank you so much for the follow. It's in German. Gotcha. Whew. Sweaty. It's getting hot in here. I'm going to keep all my clothes on, though. I don't want to get in trouble with the Twitch people. We need a hat clear function. Yeah, we need to pop the hats off. Oh no, Eimer, no disappointment. I'm so excited. No disappointment here. None at all. I'm terrible at the words. Speaking is hard. But yeah, we're doing some C#.
Oh, I got that fix.
That's right. Thank you for the dopamine. Thank you so much for the dopamine, everybody. For anyone just coming in, I am Captain Coder. Captain Coder is me, and me is Captain Coder. I am a computer science educator. My full-time job, Monday to Friday, is working as a computer science teacher at a school for ages 10 to 14. Here on Twitch, I've dedicated the stream to learning and coding and growing together as a crew. We do a lot of fun things. We do some programming challenges. We do Mechanically Challenged. We have a game jam coming up, and we do a lot of C# dev here, but we do other stuff. I'm a big fan of Lua as well. What else do I do? Mostly C# and Lua stuff. I've done a little bit of Godot. I've done some Unity. I've done a lot of Unity on stream. But go check it. One thing I want to invite you guys to look at is Mechanically Challenged. So go check out Mechanically Challenged. We do have a competition. Is Avalonia considered an engine for MC? You can use anything you want. You don't have to do an engine. But what I want to encourage people here is we do have this programming. I almost want to call it a competition, a programming challenge. What I'll call it, programming challenge, where this month's mechanic is special loops. Can you implement this? Just do yeah, you could do Avalonia. Yeah, I would just put no engine. If you're not using like a standard series of things, I'd put no engine slash C# slash and then your name. So if there's no engine, just do no engine at the beginning. But we do have Moonies and I do this this challenge. I shouldn't call it competition. This challenge where we're trying to create a database, a library of implementations for common game mechanics. In particular, this month we're doing loops and slopes, slope platforms and loops like this. So if you want to go check it out, want to get in there, you can win $50. Top 2 prizes, top 2 entries get $50. Okay, now back to our regularly scheduled captain. DevDad, thank you again so much for the raid. We are building a board editor here. This is in Blazor. We're using Blazor to do this. We were just about to decide what we're going to work on today. We're 30 minutes in and we haven't even figured out what we're going to work on today. I would like to be able to delete. I want to be able to select and delete things on the screen, figures. Okay. So I want to create a new issue here. Suggesting a feature, select feature. User should be able to select a figure, see information, and delete the figure and remove the figure from the board. All right, so this is the feature I want to work on today. John Liu, currently learning Java in school and working on a sticky note app on my own time. That sounds awesome. What is your sticky note app? What are you writing it in? Are you writing that in Java? Or is that like a web dev application, C# application? Tell me more about that. That sounds really cool. Java, I worked for years as a Java developer. Many years, 6 years. I shouldn't say years, 6 years. It's in HTML, CSS, and JS using Electron. Very cool. So Electron, for anyone who's not familiar with it, is a tool, correct me if I'm wrong, for taking web applications and turning them into like desktop applications. It's like a wrapper around a browser application. Is that true? Someone correct me if I'm wrong. All right, let's come in here. Pretty much, okay. I've actually never used Electron. Did Java for about 10 years. I worked at a place, is that right? 10 years or what? It might have been 9 years. But yeah, we worked on a Java compiler was what I mostly worked on, was compiling to special bytecodes to run on a supercomputer. So Java 6, it was Java 5 at the time. Actually, we ended up migrating to Java 6, but we wrote a custom compiler for doing high performance parallelization. So it needed to be able to compile Java Source X. Welcome to the stream. Excuse me. That's right. Java Source X, how you been, my friend? Folks, you guys know Java Source X? If you don't, you should get to know him. Incredible, fun stream over there. Java Source X, what have you been up to, guys? Click that heart. Give him some love. Java to me is C# without the Microsoft seasoning. I have I haven't used modern Java. Let me say the last version of Java I used was Java 8. They just introduced Lambda expressions, and so that was really cool. But most of my time has been spent with Java 6. Java 1, I should call it Java 1.6, is what I should call it. Java 8, they like changed the naming scheme. So Java 1.6 is essentially where most of my knowledge comes from. C# for me was a breath of fresh air, but I hadn't done Java for years at the time. And I've only been doing C# for a few years. We are using .NET 8, I think is what you mean. C# 12, .NET 8. Good question. Okay. So I want to be able to select it. We use Java 14 in school because 8 has no support anymore. Gotcha. .NET 8 is out. Yes, .NET 8 is the current LTS. They're 2-year. LTS is 2 years of support, I believe. Someone correct me if I'm wrong on that too. I think LTS is 2 years of support. We are learning Java 8 at uni. Gotcha. Yeah, I think they're on like Java 20 or something. 9 comes out in November. .NET 9, I believe, is going to release in November. Okay. All right. This is making me want to switch to Visual Studio. How are you liking it, Smab? There's a lot of things that look really cool about it. Really promising. Java's backwards. That's what my Benter used to say. Well, before Java, that was a big thing. Before Java 8, that was true. Yeah, there's some reasons I use VS Code, but with Blazor applications, this has been a bit of a nightmare. Very stable for a preview. You know, Smab, one of the things I'm most looking forward to, and I don't know if this will come out with .NET 9 actually. One of the reasons I want to be using Visual Studio is the new solution file formats. The new solution file formats look, tasty, so much better. Yeah, I heard Visual Studio, so it's a Reflex State Writer. No problem. I'm probably gonna switch here. Give me a second. Over here. One moment. Sorry, I had okay. I know. I'm looking forward to them fixing that, not fixing. I'm looking forward to the new file format. Let me say that. My VS Code sidebar is on the right side, so it doesn't shift the editor. That's another. I've tried that. Maybe we should try it again. The main reason I don't customize my VS Code too much is because I work with students and want them to, although that one doesn't feel too bad. That's okay though. It doesn't bother me that much. I don't know that it actually bothers me at all. All right, so what I want to do is I want to have a click. All right, so let's go into our tool. We're gonna go into our tool. When we click on a tile, when we just do a single click on the tile, I want to get rid of this click figure actually. Does anyone use click figure? Let's get rid of click figure. I thought I changed this. Oh man. I actually just want this to be on click. All right, let's get rid of this. This is going to make some things angry, I think. Ooh, you had a problem getting to work consistently on Linux. That's interesting. I've had it work pretty well on Linux for me. If you're referring to getting it to work consistently in select figure, let's get rid of this. Yeah, I wrote some things thinking I'd need them, and I don't. So this is me over engineering things. I only want to add things as I need them. I want to only add things as I need them. So let's get rid of that reference. It's ma'am. I saw it said 1, and I was going, I'm just going to go. Well, I'll get the error. I'll get the error and go delete it. So the reference things don't work with Razor. Look at this. So this is why I'm thinking I need to switch from VS Code to Visual Studio. References don't work if they're in a Razor file, and it drives me crazy. So the way I find things in this is I just delete it, run the compiler, and then go find it. Probably not the best workflow, but it's what I have without switching to Visual Studio. I really am just like, I need to just switch to Visual Studio. This whole situation. Yeah, Visual Studio Code does not work well with Blazor. Writer is not, the educational one is free. There's a couple things. I don't want to use software there's a couple things. My students use VS Code, and in several different languages. We don't do just C# programming. So there's a few reasons I've chosen not to use Writer. It's mostly related. There's many reasons why I've chosen to use VS Code. It's not that I'm choosing not to use Writer. It's that I'm using Visual Studio Code. It's what my students use. We want the students to be familiar with one editor. So going from class to class, they don't have to relearn stuff. Oh, you're using VSC? Yeah, Visual Studio Code doesn't work well with Blazor. I am constantly fighting with Blazor and Visual Studio Code. I did one class project where we did a Blazor application, and it was one of the worst experiences I've ever had with tooling with C#. Probably the worst experience. My students were lost because I happen to be good enough at using the terminal. I'm good enough at using the terminal that I can get by. But things just like start falling apart in Visual Studio Code. You got to do like cleans and refreshes. Yeah, Eimer, exactly. So I'm actually not that, I actually do like Visual Studio Code. I'm kind of an Emacs person. I'd probably be using Emacs. Writer. People have said, I haven't used, so let me be clear about this. I have not used Writer, but other people have. I've seen other people use Writer very successfully, and I believe it works on Linux. And from what I understand, it does do Blazor stuff well, but I have not had experience with it myself. That said, I'm like 90%. I am so close to switching to Visual Studio at this already. Okay, so when I click on a tile, I want my tool here. I don't want it to be on click. Yeah, the refactoring tool. Is Writer free? Writer is not free. We're gonna do it. We're gonna change this to an on click here. Okay. So our tool says when we click somewhere on the board, we want to do a thing. We're going to do a thing. And if you're a student, you can get it for free. Okay. I've heard that as well. I've heard the educational edition is free. I used to be a Vim guy. I was an Emacs guy for a long time. I've never used NeoVim. I've heard good things about it. So we have this on click. The default on click, what I want to do is I'm going to make the default on click. Check to see if there is a figure in the position. And if there is, it's going to send that off to the figure tool or activate the figure tool, I think. Emacs makes an operating system. You got web browsers and stuff. Yeah, I used Emacs for a long time. Before I was working in schools, in schools, back when I was just working for startups and working for myself, I did almost all of my coding in Emacs. Yeah, people couldn't believe I did all my coding in Emacs. I just loved it. Okay. So on click, we're gonna say if the board dot get the tile. We're gonna do a try get tile at the position that we're clicking. Can I do this? Okay. So if we have a tile, does it tell me that this needs to be a question mark? So this would be a tile question mark. Okay. We want to say, so if we get a tile and tile dot figure, and we want to check to see if there is a figure here, is figure, then we're gonna, it should be is a positioned figure. Okay. We want to hand this off. Why would tile be null? If this returns false, it's null. Okay. So if this returns false, then the tile would be null. It means that we've tried to access a tile on the board and there is no tile. So our boards are Foobar, welcome back to the stream. Great to have you here, my friend. Exclamation points to see how many points you have. You get about 240 points an hour. Okay, so here I have a board. The boards are not square or rectangular. The boards can be arbitrary shape. So I might have an empty space here that I look and it says here, inside of the if statement. Right, so the complaint, it should, inside of the if statement, it won't be. Inside of the if statement, it will not be. Null. I'm saying, oh no, so I'm saying if it's a tile, that's, so right here, I should be able to do tile here. You'll notice I don't get an error or a warning here. Null check can be clarified. What is the suggestion here? Maybe this not prefer null check. No, I want to make sure this thing is a position. Figure can also be null. So if we have a position figure, then I want to activate my figure tool. I want to activate my figure tool and select this thing. Eimer, I'm so sorry. I thought you were posting link. Hang on. Permit Eimer. There we go. You should be able to. Yeah, you have to be. I have it set up because we get crazy bots. I think I have it set up. I put it at 1 hour and that wasn't enough. 3 hours, we still get crazy bots. Volmancer, thank you for the hat. Well, I know the bots. Twitch, the Twitch thought you. That's like I think the auto Twitch. Here we go. Thank you for the hat redeem. Let's get another hat on here. All right. Volmancer, welcome back, stream. Let's see. You said you can write tile.figure is position. Oh yeah. This is what I was just too slow. The bot does not understand C# at all. Okay. So if we're a figure, I'm gonna activate the figure tool. Okay, I'm gonna say let's do the figure tool, and then we'll do figure tool dot select the figure that we click. So this is going to be the default behavior. If we don't override this tool, this will be the default behavior. I'm wondering if I should make our figure tool an injectable. I'm having a great morning, Volmancer. I hope you're having a great morning. All right, so when we click, I want to have my figure tool have a select option. Select. All right. So over here now, the select here, the position figure. This is why I'm feeling this tool might not be the right tool for us. All right, so the figure that's selected, this fills, the way this is written, this is like our move tool. It's actually the drag tool here that we're doing. It's like a figure move tool, not just a figure tool. So like there's a little bit of contention I'm having in my heart about this particular tool. It's not really the figure tool. If I want to have, right, so I'm not saying solid is the way to go here. But I'm saying that in the past, single purpose, having a class have a single purpose responsibility has served me well most of the time. And if I'm adding in this function here for selecting a figure, suddenly I'm going to have more state here. I'm going to have more and more state as I'm going. I'm actually on Windows because I have trouble streaming from Linux. And in my experience, streaming from Linux is really prohibitive or doesn't utilize the system resources well. Zeus blessed elf. Thank you so much for the follow, Zeus. I'd like to welcome you today, Zeus. Thank you for following me. Yeah, so I am on Windows. The main reason I'm on Windows is related to I teach remotely, and Linux. I've had trouble with Linux and doing remote school stuff. I found just all the stuff around using my Windows system is just easier. The titles bar is the one for Windows. Yeah. So I am on Windows. So I'm thinking I want a separate tool for working with this. I kind of feel like this is our move figure tool, or like a subcategory, a move figure tool. So I want to hang on, before I do too many things, before I do too many things, I want to, let's commit should do small changes. Commit should do small changes. Let's come in here. My commit's already starting to do too many things. I deleted this. I got rid of select figure, and then I renamed onClick. So let's get rid of select figure. Let's see if we can isolate that. Select figure. How many? Apparently that wasn't in many places. Select figure, I was able to just delete. OnClick figure. Then I got rid of OnClick figure. Okay. So we got rid of OnClick figure. Before I get too excited, OnClick tile. All right. Okay, OnClick. So a minor refactor here. A minor refactor. All right, let's go to my tool here, my tool class. Before we get too excited, let's just do this simple refactor. Let me do a stash. Format, .NET, build, make sure we still build. What does it change? Okay, no change there. Tool manager, OnClick. Okay. Git, commit, m, refactor, remove unused, select figure, and rename OnClick. Okay. You think it's interesting to play a lot of games, to code games? No. No, as a person who doesn't play a lot of games, but has coded quite a few, I don't think it's necessary at all. What your thoughts are on the government starting to use skill-based interviews for candidates instead of requiring a degree? Eimer, I think as a person, do I have an itch command? I don't think I do. Oh, there it is. No, that's ITC. Go check out ITC. If you want to see some of the games I've made, I'm going to get an itch command in here. Go check it out. These are the games I've made if you want to see what I've made. And I don't play a whole lot of games myself. I think skill-based interviews, rather than having a degree, is probably a good thing. That said, a degree does not necessarily mean you have the skills. As a person with a degree, I do think a degree puts you in a position to have mentors in a variety of areas compared to just like learning on your own. I think you can learn a ton on your own. I think the most important thing for learning is to have a mentor help guide you and direct you in various ways. Mooniz, welcome back to the stream. Great to see you, my friend. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Congratulations on your number 12. If you have a link, maybe we can look at it, Eimer. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, commit shouldn't require a code review. It's like the combination of those commits, right? Okay, so now in my tool, I wanted to add this in here. All right, so this is what I want. Wanted to add this shared, this select. And even before I do this, so I'm not 100% sure I'm familiar with what you're referring to. I want to again. I think my figure tool is actually going to be, and this is going to cause some issues. This is going to be my drag figure tool. Drag figure tool. Yeah, it doesn't let me do that. Ugh. Figure tool. Drag figure tool. I want to do this. This feels horrifying. But let's see how we do. All right, .NET build. And then our figure tool file, let's rename that drag figure tool. Braxton, welcome back to the stream. Happy Monday, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Okay. do a format real quick. Release. Oh, this was the cybersecurity issue. Oh, so I think there's a lot of mixed feelings on this whole thing. So I did hear about this. I didn't look too many details on it. It's not a requirement, right? Maybe for government jobs it is, but they're encouraging related to how easy it is. The vector of attack in cybersecurity for certain languages is difficult. So skill-based is good. I think doing skill-based interviews, understanding how solid someone is, skill-based hiring and learning opportunities such as apprenticeships. I like that idea. I like the idea. I will say 2 of the best programmers I ever hired didn't have a degree. They did OSSU. Do I have an OSSU command? I should make one. OSSU. This is like a self-taught computer science degree, open source society university. This is like a series of classes you can take, which are supposedly an equivalent to a computer science degree. I actually think anyone who does this on their own and takes it seriously and does all of these things on their own is almost certainly going to be more ambitious and a better employee and a better programmer than someone who just has a degree. So we're going to rename, figure render, chore, refactor, rename figure tool to drag figure tool. Okay, so I want a figure tool. Okay. Let's create a new figure tool. So the idea with your commits is you should be able to should for the most part be able to take them one at a time. All right, so we're going to take this, our figure tool, figure tool. I struggle bust my way into getting a job as a dev. I know a lot of people have. I was very fortunate to be able to go to school. We're going to call this selected. Of getting a set on it. Okay. I should get rid of this on start drag figure. All right, so this thing happens to be a tool, and it happens to be so I can make this thing a tool. The thing we have selected, it manages our selected tool. Okay, so when we do a click in a default, so I want the default behavior. All right, so our default behavior here of all tools, unless we override it, is going to be if we click and there's a figure there, if board.try get tile and our tile dot figure is a positioned figure. We're gonna switch to our figure. I need to add a shared for it. Figure tool. Figure tool dot shared. And then we are going to call the on select. Yeah. Is that right? Yeah, Imer, thank you so much for noticing that. And Tani, welcome back. We do have a lot of hats. You know, I think we're at 17 hats, something like that. We got a dev dad raid, got attacked, got a hat attack. Not quite overflowing yet. And then really what I should do is call the click. So when we're in the figure tool, I'm going to call the figure tools click. Figure tool dot shared dot on click. Feels a little weird to forward it this way, because then I'm going to call this code again. So instead, well, I kind of want to do this. I don't think I have, I just don't think I have an unlurk command, Tani. Maybe we should add one in. Feels like it would probably be a good idea to add one in. So I guess I can actually just do our figure tool.shared.selected equals figure, like that. All right. Oh, I mean, my stream is I honestly think my stream is relatively unique to streams. I think a lot of people have an unlurk. Like, I'm not an affiliate, so there's no channel points. I have like weird channel points you have to select from. Okay, so figure tool selected here like this. So what I want to do is, if we have a tile selected, let's come back up here. We're going to click on a thing, and if it's selected, let's do a highlight around it. And then the figure panel will need to have some information. We might even have like a separate, not just this thing with the figures in it. I think we might want to have a whole nother dialogue visible. Smab, I've seen, yeah, I know. I've seen a few Twitch streamers with an unlurk, but yeah, I do think that's true. If you just start typing, you're not lurking. All these hats make it hard to drink. Make it a little difficult to hydrate. We'll do our best. All right. Yes. So if we've selected a figure, let's come back over. Let's have this restart this. Try the redeems. If you just scroll down in my channel, you can see them. When did I? Are you asking when I start? When am I going to start loving code? When did I start loving to code? I've been loving coding since I was 7 years old. I started coding when I was 7, and I've never stopped. Yeah. All right, John Liu, awesome. Yeah, I'm not an affiliate. Congratulations on number 13. Working your way up, John Liu. Jan Liu. Let me know if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. All right, so in our figure renderer, I want to add in a style on our figure to know whether or not we are selected. And this might be our positioned figure render, because the figure render itself isn't, it's the positioned figure render that needs to be able to add the highlight. One or the other. We might actually just need to pass the information down. There's a couple different ways we can do. We want to say if this figure is selected, gotcha, Janulu. Gotcha. I'm gonna call you. I'll probably Janlu. I've been coding for roughly 43,508 years. This is true. If you didn't know, he used smooth stones and rough stones to make the first binary calculator. Yeah, I am the inventor of the abacus, clearly. Man, that's how I created calculus. See? It says so on Wikipedia. We got to go update the Wikipedia page so that we have that. Ooh, an on hover. That's a nice idea, too. Hover color would be good. All right, so let's look at, do we have a position figure? We don't have a position figure render. So I have this, here comes a design question. Should my position figure send information down to the child on whether or not it's selected? Or should we add the styling in our position figure? So there's like this question here. John Liu, I'm sorry, permits. John Liu. There you go. It's bad. It's bad, I know. Why does it not give you permission? What? That's wild. It's the build. Yeah, I need to. I'm sorry about that. So the it stops. Yeah, commas work. It stops new bots. Basically, it's to prevent bots. It's to prevent bots. I'm surprised Node.js by itself was that way. Trying to figure out how Node.js modules work. Yeah, so I have it set up, and I've said it a few times, but if you've been here, I think for an hour, it doesn't have that check anymore. Let's look. How do I have it set up here? Moderation. 1 hour. Yeah, if you've been here for 1 hour, it doesn't block your links. Doesn't even do a check after 1 hour, which is, I probably shouldn't say that out loud. Okay. I think I'm going to put it on the figure. No, I think I want to put it I think I want to put it on the element renderer. So I'm thinking the element renderer is going to, yeah, I think we want to do an element renderer. Element render.razor. Because this is going to also be other things. So there's going to be figures, there's going to be prompts, other things you can select here. Yeah, I'm a big fan of power toys. Tony, don't do it. Forgot to change the version number before building. Have it spam Oracle's website. Okay. So there's a couple things we could do here. When we're dragging, we do this light green. I'm going to do a selected. And when we're selected, I'm going to do this for now just to see what it looks like. So if we click on something, we'll be able to select it. John Liu says CSS is nice. Some people think so. I don't mind CSS. I'm not good at web development. I'm getting better. So we're going to have a parameter. Public bool is selected. And then we're going to add in the class here. Selected element is selected. So we're going to follow this pattern here. Ooh, selected element. I like that. All right, we'll come back to here. We'll call this selected element. And then we're going to add this into our classes. Like that. Whether or not we're selected element, we'll turn it on or off. In our position figure renderer, we want to say if the position figure is rendered, so we need to know whether or not we have selected on here. So our element renderer, we need to specify whether or not we have it here. Have it smoothly settle to the position. We could maybe do that. It snaps to the position currently. Right, so it snaps to the position when I'm dragging it. That was intentional. Let's do selected equals is selected. Is selected. I'm terrible at UI design. And we're gonna make a public bool is selected. This is interesting because right now we're saying specifically figures. Let's not over-engineer. I'm noticing that, I'm going to need to be able to use this in multiple ways later. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do figure tool dot selected dot shared dot selected is equal to figure. So if these two things are equal, we is selected. Okay. I'm wondering whether or not this will already work. It doesn't. I might need to refresh the whole page to get the style sheet in. I'm not sure. I need to find a better way to do some test stuff here. Captain Enosa with another hat. Welcome back to the stream. Great to see you, my friend. Let's be a little careful. Let's get another hat on. My head's a little cold, so we'll get another hat added on here. Thank you for the hat redeem, Captain Enosa. Okay. What am I looking at here? So on drag is selected. When I click, okay, what I want here, we probably need to do, I want to see whether or not I'm actually selected. Let's go into my default tool here. Just to debug this. There is a library called BUnit that I would like to spend some time with, but I haven't done it yet. So BUnit looks promising, but I haven't taken a dive into it yet. Selected figure, just to see here. What likely is happening is, well, we'll see. I'm curious. All right, so I actually am not getting, it's not registering my clicks actually. And I think it's because I'm not actually clicking on the board, I'm clicking on a figure. And so the figure, yeah, that's right. If I go into my figure renderer, this is sending, or my figure renderer. This is interesting. I don't see a click here. It's all on downs. Let's go into our element render. Really needs to be the one doing it, I believe. Because we're clicking, it's being intercepted by the figure. It's not actually clicking the tile underneath. It's intercepting that click on the figure itself. So it's not getting that tile beneath. I think if I get really, can I do a zoom in here? I think if I get really close, I might be able to click the tile underneath and have it send that event. Also, I may just have turned this off. Let's see if we're getting any of these at all. Sol.WriteLine, click. The first release of your Sticky Note app was a sticky beginning. Nice little, okay, so I actually don't think I'm getting any of, oh, let's have this reload here. Yeah, I don't think I'm getting the click events at all. Okay, so we never actually invoke the click. Let's go into our tool manager. Yeah, I have it on select tile. I don't know that select tile happens anywhere. In our tile renderer, tile renderer. Select tile. So on click, we do call select tile. I'm surprised that this isn't. Oh, it should work. There should be some because we can add tiles. Yeah, so we aren't clicking. We can erase tiles. This is being triggered by that event. I wonder if my sub tool is not invoking the parent. All right, so in my tile tool, yes, I don't trigger the parent. Yeah, so we need to do base.onClick. This is what was happening. This is interesting because it doesn't, does it intercept it? We need to cancel if it does. So there's some design things here that are interesting. That I need to consider. On click, to prevent this, would need to like have a boolean that says, oh, hey, wait, when I do a click, I return whether or not I did something, whether or not the event was received, right? So then we can push it up and down. Yeah, it's kind of like a little bit of a bubble event, right? Because if we click on a figure, we want to switch to we're interacting with that figure. So we want to ignore this other event. So I think my on click to do this, I'm going to make it return a bool. Okay. And in this case, it would return true, saying, hey, I did a thing. In this case, it returns false. So the question is this what we want to do? Is this the design choice we want to do? Say this Boolean represents if it was handled. Should we create an enumerated type to be able to better have events? I think creating an enumerated type might be the correct thing to do here to better express express what we're doing. Event result. Rather than doing a full class, let's start off with just an event result. Event result. Enum event result. And if we need to, we can expand this. You're saying tool event args, have it do more information? I don't, so I'm trying to avoid the over engineering, right? So I don't know that I need that yet. If I down the road decide this thing needs to do a bunch more, we can extend it, but let's try and keep it as simple as possible to start. And then if we need to extend that capability, because I don't know what capabilities is, all I know right now is that, well, I need to know whether or not the event was handled or not. Event result is unhandled. So these are sort of the two things I have right now in handled. So I either I handled it or I didn't handle it. So I could use a bool here, but I think this is a little bit more descriptive and gives me a little bit of flexibility to extend it a little bit later. So it has an event result, unhandled, handled. We might add information on how it was handled, like who handled it. We could say how it was handled. We could say like where was the original mouse click. I don't need that information yet. And so in my on click here for my tool, I'm gonna have this return an event result. And in this case, we'll say handled, event result not handled, unhandled. Okay. Oh, I need to make it public. And in my subclasses, I will return, if the board doesn't have a tile, this was an event unhandled. How many uniforms and WFFs use this pattern, so I don't believe it's over-engineered. It's also something that would be passed in, right? So instead we would pass it in. That, I think, is, they are going for super extensibility. Super extensibility. They don't know what it's going to be used for. They're writing a framework for creating web stuff. Position would be in the args, yeah. So you might have an event here, and then the event would have position, it would have board, it would have all the things you need to get in it. They have built a framework for building UIs. I'm not doing a framework for building a UI. All right, we'll do an event.handled here. And then down here, Sorry, this is event result. That's my argument. Backseat coding is totally welcome here, by the way. Because event result dot handled. This should be unhandled here. Okay. What I want to do is I want to say if is handled, return handled. So we're just going to ignore this thing. If our parent says we got it, we ignore it. Otherwise, we pass through. Oh, that's fine. I've learned so much, especially as a person who is learning this particular framework. You know, I can't say I'm a beginner to C# anymore, but I think I am maybe intermediate. I've been programming a long time, but C# I'm pretty new to. I've been using it for 3 years. I've been using C# for 3 years. Blazor, I have dabbled with a little bit. So this is really the first time I've tried to build a real, what I'll call a real Blazor app, where I'm trying to be thoughtful about the way I'm going about it. All right, so now I'm getting the word click. It still doesn't happen on my tile here, right? Because this object is blocking the tile. So I might turn off. So there's some trickiness here, some trickiness to it. But yeah, these things, now I'm getting the click here. I don't get it on my object. There's a couple ways I'm thinking about how I could handle this. I could remove mouse events from my figure. And then I have to move my drag information into the tile itself and propagate it down. That is one way I could do it. So I kind of feel like that is the way I want to approach it. Let's do a quick commit here. I've made some changes. The important changes that I've made, there's 2 different changes I made. I added this in event result, so I need to go through and add these ones. Okay. So let's do a refactor, add event. I guess this would be kind of it is add event result to on click. Okay. And then this one we're still working on. We're not done with this one yet. Our element renderer can be selected. One way I could do this would be in my, because really we don't ever have the click event on a renderer on these elements. I gotta get more coffee. We'll be doing coffee here in about 4 minutes myself. Eimer, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Okay. Let's our element here is blocking our click. We've got 4 minutes. Yeah, got 4 minutes to get there, Captain Enosa. We're almost there. So I could add it here. I'm considering a refactor of my tool. I have this on start drag figure. Really, I feel like this should be an on start drag. And then that just gets passed down to that board there. So I think I want to do a refactor with how I'm doing dragging. I think I'm going to do a stash on these here. Or I can just add this in here. Feet add is selected to add element renderer dot is selected. Okay. I think the refactor I want to do here is I want to change on start drag figure to just on start drag. I want to propagate up the drag to my tiles. Yeah. And then we're going to have to do a refactor here. Patrick, welcome back to the stream. There's Patrick with another hat. All right. I don't see any more hats in this box aside from the big... We got the hat sack. Let's get the hat sack going. All right. Thank you for the hat, Redeem. Oh, boy. Am I tall enough? Are my arms long? Sorry, are my arms long enough? Not am I tall enough? Hero Fox, we're out of hats. We're out of hats. Let's get this hat sack on. We're all out of hats. I actually think I have one in the other room, but we're out of. There's no more hats in this room. No more hats in this room. Thank you so much for all the hats, everybody. Thank you so much for all the hats. Oh, Hero Fox, thank you for the hat. We're out. We got a hat stack overflow, folks. Hat stack overflow. Hero Fox, congratulations. Everyone for being here. Points. For being here to witness a hat stack overflow. 500 points to all you beautiful people out there. Thank you guys so much. And Hero Fox, you are the hero that we deserved. Congratulations on your number 16. All right, folks. Ooh, zoomed in a little bit much there. Yes, I think we need to change this to on start drag. On start drag. It's not necessarily for a figure. I don't think I can just do a rename here. Can I? I can. All right, so we're going to rename it to on start drag. And it's no longer a figure. Instead, I'm going to make this refactor is going to cause some issues. It's going to be the figure and then the position that we are actually dragging from. Position. And then we're going to need to do some stuff here. So in my drag figure tool, really I want to have a public void on start drag figure. And it should be this. Okay. On start drag, we kind of need to translate into this thing down here that says, okay, well, if there is a figure there, this is the position where we were sort of started dragging from. Yeah, so there's some refactoring we got to do here. Let's go fix our types. Okay, on drag start. This needs to take in a... Suppose we could still do start drag figure here and not do... Really think this needs to be start drag. I think this one's not going to let me refactor though because of the virtual method. Yeah. Let's do a start drag. Position. Position. Like that. And now this is going to complain to us. Okay. We're going to get some errors. All right, hang on. Let's do a .NET build so I can see the actual error message. It's Visual Studio Code has begun to fail us once again. All right. Yeah, so this would be, rather than doing the start drag here, now this becomes our drag figure tool dot shared dot start drag figure. Drag figure tool on start. Okay, so this would be actually called just start drag figure. That makes sense to me. What are you complaining? There's no arguments correspond to figure panel. There's no arguments that corresponds to the required parameter original. It is should be null by default. Okay. Okay. And then here this becomes this one here. So it's like, this is the figure where we started dragging, and this is gonna, I do think this is gonna go away. We're doing small refactors here, small incremental stuff. Let's reload Visual Studio Code, see if we can get these errors to go away. This would be on, this would be start drag. All right, we're building. Let's do a reload here. So we're starting that drag. This is going to propagate through to our on. Yeah, so our tool on start drag. We'll do it this way. I'm going to propagate down here. So we're dragging on our board. So these tools are when we interact with the board indirectly. So on start drag. For our figure, we use this information to figure out. All right, so we're going to say if board.getTile, try get tile, of the position as a tile, and that tile figure is a position figure. Now we can do something with this information. All right, so we want to, this is the position we're clicking. We know where the top left corner is. We need to figure out that original position. Oh, we have the original position. Oh, that's nice. That is nice. This becomes start drag figure of our board. The figure dot element and the figure dot position. All right, did this. Will it build? This is where like unit test and integration test and end-to-end test would be nice. Let's launch this again. Okay, I can still drag. Does it still? All right, so there is a little notice now. When I start dragging from this bottom left corner, it's going to snap to the top left corner. Notice that. Okay. So our original position is actually the position that came in here, I believe. So let's try that. I thought this was looking for the original. It's interesting. I'm curious if that is correct. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. Nice. Not bad. Not bad. All right. So now we can do. We can remove the listener, I believe, on our. We can just say, hey, these things don't get pointer events anymore, and it's based on clicking on the board. So a position thing isn't going to get the pointer stuff. All right, let's do a quick commit here. We're going to take a break. Yes, it is. You can find it on GitHub. And I love when people make contributions to our projects as well. So on GitHub, it's the tactics engine here. Please, please, please consider opening issues. If you want to do a pull request in here, Smab's done pull requests into a couple of our projects now. Tuber Tugger's done some pull requests. I think CodeMonk's done pull requests. These are issues here. If you something you think you would like to add, create an issue. I'm not promising we're going to add it, but I'd love, love, love this stuff. Love when you come here. We have a little bit of a wiki going on. Wiki needs some work. But yeah, there's little things here. You can just look at the code as well, which is totally fine. We got to take a break here. I want to get this committed. Let's we did a refactor. We renamed onStart drag, right? So the onStart drag should be in here. I would love that. go for it. You learn so much when you start working with other people. One of the things I always tell my students is it's fine to work solo. You can get a lot of skills working solo. You learn so much more when you work with other people. When you work with other people who are typically better than you, I feel like a lot of people are better than me, but getting different ideas, germinating those ideas together. My poor dog wants out of the room. We're gonna take a break here. Let me get this in here. Refactor tool dot on start drag. Rename tool dot on start drag. This is the thing that we did. All right. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. I got to get myself some more bean water, get myself some more hydration liquid. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere. Captain Coder will return. All right, everybody, Captain Coder's back. Art, I'm so sorry. It's been twice on the BRB screen. I'll try and do better. I'll try never to take breaks anymore. I promise. I from this day forward, I promise I will try to never take a break again. Because I hate to disappoint you, Art. No, I'm kidding, Art. Welcome back to the stream. It's so great to see you. I hope you've been well. I know you've been crazy busy, folks. If you guys don't know Art Berkless, Art Berkless is the creator of a game called Warlock's Gauntlet, building his own engine for Warlock's Gauntlet. He's a C++er. He's a C++er. He does all kinds of cool stuff. I think he's your pixel editor, your art program is in C. You wrote that in C, I think. Art's one of my favorite places to hang out. I can't wait to see you streaming again, my friend. But folks, be sure to give Art some love. Be sure to go wishlist Warlock Scantlet. Incredible stuff going on over there. Octo Chris, great to see you, my friend. How the heck have you been? Welcome back to the stream. No, Art, thank you so much for all you do. Because you inspire me greatly. I'm very well, but also busy with school. Gotcha. So, folks, you know, we took a break. Let's get some. We have made some progress today, by the way, Art. So I'm pretty happy about this. But look, the captain loves you, which means you should love you. And if you love yourself, you gotta take care of that body. So let's get some stretches in. Thaddeus 17. Welcome to the stream today. Thaddeus, thank you so much for the all. I'm gonna encourage everybody to stand on up, get some stretches in. Get some stretches, and you gotta love yourself. So everyone stand up. We're gonna do some trunk twist. I can't talk today. Get those arms up at your side, and we're just gonna rotate back and forth, nice and slow. If you feel any pain, stop. You don't want to feel any pain. Just nice stretches back and forth, nice and slow. Oh! I don't know if you guys heard that. I had a pop. It felt great. Felt great. Get those arms up and lean to the side. Bring it back to the other side. Oh! And then back. And forth. Oh, deep breath. Reach up into the sky as high as you go. Maybe get up on your tippy tops. Get some nice stretches in. Oh, Octo Chris, I have poured my second coffee and haven't had it yet. Get these stretches in first. Deep breath in. As you exhale, go ahead and hinge at the hips. Hinge at the hips, and we're gonna hang. We're just gonna hang here. Oh, if you can touch the ground, awesome. If you can't touch the ground, that's okay. Focus on stretching your lower back and glutes. Your lower back and glutes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Nice, slow, long breath in for 5 seconds. As you breathe, slowly roll up and bring those shoulders up, back, and down. And we're going to give some shoulder rolls back. 2, 3, 4. At the elbows. 2, 3, 4. Full arms. Yeah. 2, 3, 4, rolling forward. 2, 3, 4, add the elbows. 2, 3, 4, full arms. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, shake it out. Shake it out. Some nice little stretches. If you did some different stretches, good for you. If you just got up and moved around, maybe you had a nice big yawn, take care of yourself. Love yourself. We try and do it every hour, every 90 minutes, 2 hours tops. For joining me in those 150 points to all you beautiful people. Art, to answer your question, I'm doing absolutely wonderful, my friend. I'm doing absolutely wonderful. If I use an AI to browse documentation and answer using it as data, is it still detrimental to my... I think... You know, having worked with young people who I give them the option to use AI, I have found that most of my students, when they use AI, they learn, it teaches them, aside from just like really, really surface level basic things, they learn really like incorrect information. I would say 6 months ago, I used to say, oh, use AI and like have conversations with it. But I have found my students getting bad information from AI. So I'm kind of against AI for learning at this point. Doing absolutely wonderful, Art. I hope you're doing well. Folks, I want to do a quick promotion here for Mechanically Challenged. Mechanically Challenged. Be sure to go check out Mechanically Challenged. We had such a great time last month with it that I hope you will consider joining. What is Mechanically Challenged? Mechanically Challenged is a monthly programming challenge hosted by myself and Moonness, folks. Be sure to go check out Moonness. And this month's challenge is to implement, we want you out there to try and implement sloped mechanics, sloped platforms and loops, one or the other or both. So Sonic made this pretty popular to have a platformer where you don't just have flat platforms. Look at these curved platforms. They curve up, they curve down. So you have your player running on those platforms and they adjust. There's some gravity associated with it and they have these loops. If you're not going fast enough, you can't make it around loop. If you're not going fast enough, you can't make it up the curves. And by implementing one of these things, you're entered to a chance. Look at those curves. That's right, Art. you're entered in a chance to win $50 if you produce a solution that we feel is a solution that is really good, it teaches people stuff, is a good example, and something that can be reused and is semi-modular. You could win $50. I'm going to select one winner. Muniz will select another winner. And it's just that awesome. Last month we had drop through platforms. We did it. Sigian won first place, and Mars 9T won second place. So awesome submissions. If you get your submission in before June 1st, you will be entered for a chance to win. Looking forward to your submissions. Go check out Mechanically Challenged. We can't wait to hear from you. And feel free to chat, share your solutions, share your strategies. Awesome stuff going on over there. Okay, let's hop back into our tactics engine. What's going on here? Okay. So Art, I don't know what you've seen, but we're expanding our tactical combat game. We're building an editor. We're building an editor, a web-based editor. So I'm learning a lot about doing web development, which I've done very little of. Sonic was one of my favorite ones. So it's not laggy, it snaps. So you'll notice it's snapping to the tile. So if I drag the mouse in between here, it's because these can't exist, they snap to the tile. So it's showing you exactly where it is. It's not actually laggy. That was a design choice I made. And maybe it was the wrong design choice, right? But yeah, it snaps to those tiles. And the reason is the tiles, you can change the sizes of them. Maybe I should have. Maybe I should have it just drag with the mouse. There's a few reasons. The biggest one is that that's like a very easy way to do it. For me, it seemed like a very easy way to do it. Okay. I could add a CSS transition. So that it like when you move between it, like will slide to that position. I could also just make it stick with wherever the mouse is on the screen, right? So it has to do with how my events are firing. I am not using HTML's drag and drop API. Yeah, I'm not using HTML's drag and drop API, and there's some reasons for that. It happens to be mostly because I'm using Blazor, and modifying its behavior requires me to go into the JavaScript part. And so I've kind of avoided that. But yeah, Sonic was not my first console game, but I loved the first two Sonic games. I had a Genesis when I was a kid, and it was one of my favorite games of all time. I loved it. So I picked that mechanic. All right, so what are we doing right now? I want to move the on-start drag where it's happening right now. It is inside of our figure renderer. All right, so our figure renderer is actually handling whether or not something starts dragging. And I feel this needs to be moved into the tile. I feel like it needs to be moved into the tile itself. So that way we can disable. Visual Studio is a little bit a hefty program, yeah. Yeah, Art, that's right. Having it move freely. And then have a shader showing where it's going to snap. Then when you let go, it goes to it. That's interesting. This is a server with HDD, so it's going to be nice and slow. Beautiful. Love me a nice and slow server. That's what everybody needs. Sonic 2 was my favorite Sonic game. That said, I haven't played many of the later ones. Sonic 2 was my favorite. I think that was Sonic and Knuckles. Is it Sonic and Knuckles? Sonic and Tails. Sonic and Knuckles was the third one. I don't think I liked Sonic and Knuckles as much. Okay. My tile renderer. And I'm sure I'm gonna end up regretting this, but in our tile render, I want our tile render to have a drag. All the stuff we've done for dragging to be put into that. Okay, so I'm gonna go into my tile render. I'm gonna move my dragging code there. Yeah, so I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna add these here. And we're gonna take our So there's some funkiness here. This is why using the API would be better, potentially. I still feel like there would be a lot of gnarliness around it because of the JavaScript interrupt I would have to do. Okay. And what this is going to do is rather than calling on drag start, this is going to be our tool manager dot start drag with our board and position. So we propagate this to our tool manager, and the tool manager will decide what's there. Awesome. John Liu, if you want to make contributions, I would recommend forking the repository, because you won't be able to actually make pushes. I would recommend forking it. You could clone it as well. It just would be harder to get contributions into a pull request. So Knuckles has this interesting like jump. He can dash in midair. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. There is a, I've been playing a little bit. Sonic Origins has a bunch of the games on it as well. Okay. So we're going to pass that off there. Drag started. We need a way for drag started to also reset itself. I actually don't think I'm using drag started. I think I can get rid of that safely. Yes. Okay. The drag started was to make it so that way our figure would lose. We would start hiding the mouse. It would stop interacting with the mouse. All right, so I think moving this here is going to make it a little bit easier. It's interesting though, because our figure render, we still need to be able to drag from somewhere else, so this still needs to be here. It's kind of, I'm not sure how I feel about it, but positioned renders I think we want to make so that there's no, let's go into our tool. Let's get rid of this click here. Well, we're going to need this in a second. On start drag. Don't necessarily want to do this. We want to send it onto the board if it is there. Let's do a console.writeLine just to check drag started. Do a little bit of print line debugging, the lowest form of debugging. Maybe not quite the lowest form, but the most straightforward of debugging. The old run and check. Definitely want to get some unit tests in place at some point to better be able to do the thing. So, all right. So we can start dragging from a tile now. That's interesting. It actually is not. It only registered the first one. I would love, yeah, John Liu, I'd love that. Anyone is allowed to contribute, by the way. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is have sort of like anytime a mouse is up, here's what's going on. Well, we do set mouse down to false. I don't understand why I'm not getting a second. Oh, because I've switched to this tool. That's what's going on. I've switched tools. And it doesn't use the default behavior anymore. Okay, so now I'm getting it. Okay. It's interesting I've lost the ability to drag on these. Oh, it's because I'm not on the figure tool now? Ah. Yeah, so my figure tool doesn't get selected. Okay. So there's some weirdness, maybe. I don't actually want to switch to my figure tool unless we actually begin the drag. Kovalaki, welcome back to the stream. Great to have you here. It's almost like I'm feeling super interesting. I almost just want to and then when we're done, we don't actually turn the switch the tool back. Oh man, there's so much, a little bit of gnarliness in here. So for our default tool, Kovalaki, I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well. We only want to do this if there is a figure there. Exclamation point rank should get you there. There we go. You're on your way up, though. That's out of like 10,000 or something nuts. Kovalaki, I'm doing wonderful. I hope you've been well. Happy Monday, my friend. Welcome back. I don't have a top command. I know. I don't have a leaderboard command. Sorry. We can look at it though. We can look at our leaderboard. It is viewers. I know I need to have I need a command here. I need to write the code for it. We got Mooniz, Dramulx, Smab, Unity Coder, Devro, Clayman, then me somehow. Sigian, CodeMonk. Yeah, Mooniz is insane. He's also got 2 JDs. Enough time, enough dedication. You can get there. You can do it. It's all up to you. So what I want to do is say, when we start the drag, if we happen to have, yeah, so it's interesting. I feel a little bit awkward about it here. It's almost like I should just call this and not switch tools, but I think we need to switch the tool. Yeah, I think if we're dragging the tool, then our tool manager.tool should be this. Oh, and our tool manager needs to be injected. We do have a shared. So if we start dragging something, I guess that's a good money when the whole day just evaporates before your eyes because you had so much to do. Oh, that'll happen sometime. That'll definitely happen on occasion. Okay. Not the best of solutions, but I think this is an okay way to do it, where we do this. This is where the event results, I think, might be important. Spent all your points on Doi.
Doi.
I think I made those not cost anything, Tani. Look in our subclasses. Yeah, none of these do anything with the start drag. So it's just the figure tool. It's almost like after we drag, we want to switch back to whatever tool we were on previously. Yeah, I think most of them are free now. They used to take points. They used to take points, but I think they're all free now. I mean, the redeems aren't, but the little, those are. Yeah, so these ones, we want to say when our mouse is done, on mouse up, we actually want our tool to switch back. Tool manager, manager.tool should be our figure tool, like that. So we switch back to using the figure tool. We probably want to mark something selected. There's some stuff there that we do. Oh, the goggles. I forgot about that. We got to update that command. Nice. Nice, John Lou. All right, so let's go see if this made a difference here. The start drag is gone. Okay, click. These are no start drag on these. Oh, I think I took that off. Can I still drag these? I can still drag those. I took out in my tool. Yeah, so this would be console.writeLine. Good luck with Visual Studio. Let me know how it goes. Yeah, let me know how it goes. All right, on start drag. On start drag's running over there. Click. On start drag. Okay. So they're using the same thing here. Okay. Yeah, it's a nice idea. It's hefty. My biggest complaint's not quite the right word. My biggest one of the things about it compared to Visual Studio Code is it's a much bigger. It's a much bigger thing. You get an error in Internet Explorer. You have an Internet Explorer error. Explorer or Edge? So that would be a question I would ask. If you're using Internet, are you using Edge or Internet Explorer? Internet Explorer, I think, is very outdated. Is that true? Edge. Okay. Let me try it in Edge. Let's see what happens if I use Edge. Works. Seems to be working for me. Are you on? Yeah, so it seems to be nice. What's interesting is it feels smoother in Edge. If I'm being completely honest, it feels much smoother in Edge. You know how you were talking about there's like a little bit of a lag feeling? Everything feels really nice in Edge, actually. I think I'm going to start using Edge. I've been really disappointed with Firefox, if I'm being completely honest. Walks in. Welcome back, Snabble. Great to see you. Found OmniSharp VS Code was very capable of destroying my machine. Yeah. Heard similar things. Okay. So what I want to do, because now I can't click on it, what I want to do is I want to actually, in our positioned figure renderer, really in our figure renderer, I want to remove this drag stuff. When I do this, I'm no longer going to be able to drag from my panel anymore, and I think I am okay with that. I think my figure renderer isn't a thing that can be dragged. Instead, something that I can start a drag with, I'm going to wrap it with something called like a draggable. So like a draggable thing, and it says when I start a drag, what do we do? My figure, I think I'm going to have my figure ignore the mouse always, but it could be wrapped in something that's not a... True, if you've noticed I have Mooniz in my tags, that's true. Mooniz is my alter ego. Mooniz is my nemesis. Mooniz taught me everything I know. I gotta give him credit. So, let's start The anti-captain. No, I love Mooniz. Mooniz is awesome. Let's go into our figure render here. And I'm pretty sure what I want to do is set these to none. This is going to cause some issues, I believe. But I don't want my figure to get events this way. I can still drag those. I shouldn't be able to drag in here, though. Yeah. Okay. So I've moved my tiles to be where the drag event's coming from. Saw it disappear for a second. That was weird. Maybe it was just my imagination. All right. And the web standard is Chrome now, basically. I feel like that is true. I don't know if that's entirely true, Snabble. But it feels, in my experience, that feels very true. All right, so it's interesting there wasn't. Okay, so we can get rid of all of this. My figure render becomes very, very simple. I want to move these. I'm going to move these out in a moment. Okay. We're not going to do too much refactoring, but let's get rid of all of this. I think I'm going to get rid of all of this. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Was I still having... Oh, it still has all the highlights in my element. Oh, man. This is great. This is great. Skydriver, I'm doing absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for hopping in. I hope you're having a beautiful day. What have you been working on? What have you been working on? Where is Dot selected? We're in the middle of a kind of a beefy refactor, Jean-Lu. The class that handles that happens to be the element renderer. Element renderer, and it's the dragged element that does this stuff here. So element renderer is what is the little thing on the inside. But yeah, I think this might be changing here in a moment. But yeah, my figure renderer no longer is going to be the thing that handles the drag. All right. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Something bad happened. Figure renderer does not have... Okay. This is just my compiler saying, hey, by the way, we don't have an on-drag start anymore. Okay. And VS Code is broken again. So we got to do a .NET clean. And then a reload it. Finishing my demo for itch.io and wanted to jump in and look if you have time for a board game redeem to refresh some creativity batteries. Yeah, if you do a board game redeem, we'll have a little bit of time. I'm going to finish this last little thought experiment here, but yeah, I'd love to do a board game redeem. If you got the points for it, go for it. You know I love board games. Okay. Now my figure panel's also missing this thing. So there needs to be a like drag start thing. Thank you so much for the board game redeem. I'm gonna do a quick check here to make sure that things are still working. Awesome, awesome. Fresh Meat, welcome back to the stream. I need to add a sound effect for the board game redeem. Maybe a little animation to the screen as well. Things are still okay. I can't drag from here. I knew that was going away. I knew that was gonna happen. Select 3 and choose 1. Will do. Will do. So for this section here, we need this figure renderer. We're going to add a little thing here that says like, you know, a drag starter, a draggable, startable thing here from the right side. But for now, I think I'm pretty happy with these changes here. Get, add. I have not, Jean-Lu. I have not tried that. I've just started using Firefox in the last month or so. Since Google basically, the latest version of Chrome, extensions can no longer do certain modifications. Specifically, it was to prevent ad blockers. But the restriction on how you can modify the DOM felt overly aggressive. All right, so I want to double check here. We moved drag to start on tiles. Yeah. Okay. Refactor, move drag event to tile. All right, we removed the start and drag event. Yeah, they made it so you can't. They essentially made it so you can't use ad block because of you. They don't want people using ad blocker on YouTube, and but it stops it in other places. That's the thing. Yeah, it's anyway. I'm not gonna complain too much about it. All right, thank you so much for the board game redeem. Let's pick 3 board games. You guys know I'm a huge board game nerd. Nerd might be the strong word. They're being very sketchy. Yeah, let's take a look at the board games we got here. We got a lot of board games back there. All right, we're gonna pick 3 and choose ones. We got a couple. There's a few board games back there. It goes all the way to the floor. All the way to the floor there. All right, Skydriver. We're gonna pick 3. Choose 2. Okay. We have Mage Wars. This is a board. This is a I would call it a deck construction. It's not a deck building game. You construct a deck, and then you have 2 wizards. It's a wizard dueling game. On a small 4x3 board, so 12 space board, you construct your deck at the beginning, but you have access to all the cards in your deck throughout the game, but you expend them. So Mage Wars, one of my favorite games here. So good. I have 2 copies of it. You can see that I have a nice box up top, and this one's all battered and bruised. Mage Wars. So it's a little card game there. We have Splendor. Splendor is a fantastic game for 1 to 4 players. Maybe can you do 1 player in here? I don't know if you can do 1 player. For 2 to 4 players, in which you take on the role of a person in a merchant guild where you're trying to sell jewels to wealthy patrons. You're just building mines. Splendor, fantastic. It's another game with cards. Laid out on the board. One of my favorite games. Very, very quick game. Takes 30 minutes to play. Has a fantastic PC version as well. They probably have it's probably written in Unity. Probably a mobile version as well. And then let's go with. Do I see Sagrada? Sagrada. All right. So our 3 game options. Sagrada is a game with dice. You're building out windows. So you're working in a church. You're building out these beautiful church windows, trying to score points. This is again for 1 to 4 players. This one has a solitaire mode as well. So we got Sagrada, a beautiful dice game of beauty and dice. Splendor, a game of merchants, wonders, gems, merchants, and wonders. The greatest gemstone merchants of the Renaissance. That's what it says. And we got Mage Wars, a competitive tactical strategy game of dueling mages. So 2 mages, dueling mages. What are we going to do? Skydriver. What do you want? Which of the 3? Mage Wars looks good to know more about. We're going to do Mage Wars. Let me go ahead and put these other 2 back on. Mage Wars, one of my favorite strategy combat games. Sagrada, back on the shelf. Splendor, back on the shelf. There we go. Okay. Awesome. Let's take a look at Mage Wars. Let's switch to our doc cam here. Get our document cam. Oh, document cam button doesn't work on this scene. Get our doc cam. There we go. Okay. Turn off the chat so we can... Do we need to chat off? I'll leave the chat. You don't need to see my face. Let's, but we'll move it over so you can kind of see my face. I'm going to be looking down anyway. All right, so Mage Wars. Let's maybe clear some space. I need to get I really want to get a whole table for doing board games in here with a nice webcam pointed from the top, maybe a couple cameras. Maybe we'll do a fundraiser. Maybe I'll set that up as a donation goal on Ko-fi or something to get that. All right, so we have Mage Wars. Mage Wars. See, this camera doesn't go high enough. All right, so we got Mage Wars here. Customizable strategy game of dueling mages. Okay. Beautiful artwork in this game. If you like Magic the Gathering. All right, so big old rule book, though. All right, so one downside of this game is the massive, massive rule book. There's a lot of complexities to it. It's not just an easy to play game. You probably gonna watch videos here, so there's a lot of stuff going on in this game. The game comes with 2 spell books. 2 spell books. And in the spell books, you can think of these as your decks. So these are little card holders in here. So you build out your deck of cards of the spells that you want to be able to have access to throughout the game. There's a couple different types of cards. We have these artifacts. These are equipment cards. You select a mage as well. So for example, you might be the Beastmaster. The Beastmaster is your avatar. This is what you put down on the board while you're playing. The Beastmaster happens to be trained in the Nature School of Magic. So I think there's 6 different schools of magic. The Beastmaster happens to be trained in the Nature School. Fire spells cost triple. So when you're building out your spell book, the training you have, you get to pay less for those spells. So normally spells have a cost to them. For example, the Ring of Beasts here. We have the Ring of Beasts. Ring of Beasts costs 2. Costs 2 to add this. Cost 1 to add to your spell book if you happen to be a nature school. So it's a nature spell. You notice the nature symbol has a 1. So this is a nature 1. If you're in the school of nature, it only costs 1 to add in it. If you're not in the school of nature, it costs 2. It costs double. So some spells here might be in multiple schools. So for example, the Enchanter's Ring happens to be cost 1 if you're in the knowledge school. I think this is like sorcery. But you have different level spells. So the more powerful this spell, the more it's going to cost, right? So you can actually use any spell you want, no matter what type of wizard you are, what type of mage you are, but it might cost lots to cast. So for example, Tarok, the Sky Hunter, is a spell that costs 3 for a nature wizard, but for most wizards, it's going to cost 6. So the Beastmaster is really good at summoning these beasts. So very, very cheap, very, very cheap card to summon this beast into the game. All right, so this would be a monster. This would be a creature you control in the game. That's right. This is a nerd alert. Or even more, get the Steel Claw Grizzly. Look at these beautiful artwork on these. I love the artwork on this. I'd play this game. I played this game a lot. Code Monk, exactly, the nerd alert. Beautiful, beautiful artwork on these. So this game is played. So you have these spell books here. It's on this pretty big board. I know that they have a smaller version as well. So there's a shorter version that you can play as well. But let me pull out this board so you can see. There's a lot of cards in this little deck box there. There's a lot of components in this game too. A lot of custom dice as well. So let me get the board just so you can see it. It's a big board. It's a 4x12 board. Turn the dot cam off just so I can hold it up here. So the game, the battle takes place on this board. It is divided into cells. So this is one cell. You can end up with a lot of things in one cell, right? So you have divided into these cells. So it's 4 wide, 3 tall. It's a big board, so I'm not going to be able to fit. This is why I need a whole table for this. We have a lot of Unity devs here, OctoChris. The Discord might be a good place if you're having a question. It would be a good place to ask questions as well. So your wizard ends up on this board, your mage, and you can summon obstacles, you can summon walls. Let's turn that dot cam back on here. You have this card. So every mage, this is why I'm saying like this should really be, it's almost a computer game. It's almost a computer game. It just has it has pretty nice interface for it. So your wizard has channeling. This is how much mana they gain per turn. This is your mana supply. It increases and decreases. You have these little cubes that you keep track of. And this is how much life you have. If your wizard runs out of life, you die. you lose. So the idea, you got to kill the other wizard. The whole point of the game is to kill the other wizard. The objective is simple: destroy the other wizard. Right, so as you summon things out onto the board, they can move around. You roll these dice. You have these special dice you roll to do damage, to attack things. So these are sort of like critical damage. They can't be blocked. This type of damage can be blocked. So you do 2 damage, but it can be absorbed by armor. We have different effects that can be added to. You can daze, confuse, stun enemies, stun, weak. So there's all sorts of different effects that can be applied to different things, different enemies, different creatures. So many cool things to do in this game. The base game comes with 4 different wizards. I believe it comes with like a fire wizard, an ice wizard, just like a pure wizard, a pure mage, and then a like nature healer type thing. All kinds of armor. The cards are beautiful. This game's awesome. There's several expansions for it as well. There's Demon School. There's all kinds of good stuff. I absolutely love this game. Oh man, I wonder if there's a computer version of this game. If there is a digital version of this game, I would love to play this with some of the community members. Skyrider. I keep saying Skyrider. Sorry, Skydriver. I'm so sorry. I don't know why my brain keeps going there. How's it going? What'd you think of this game? I love this game. I absolutely love this game. During gameplay, you actually have access to your whole spell book, right? So during the game, it's not like you're drawing cards. So you select 2 spells on your turn that you can use during that turn. Each player secretly selects 2 spells face down, and then you can use those during your turn. So one of the really cool things about this game that I haven't seen in many is you actually have access to your whole deck. That's why it's a spell book rather than a deck. The entire game. I love this game. 2 players. So the one downside to it is it's a 2-player game, and so you'd have to be playing with one other person. So it's not really a party game, but a fantastic game nonetheless. That was, folks, Skydriver. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for redeeming the board game redeem. Mage Wars. Highly recommend. I don't even know if it's in print anymore. There's another game that's similar to this called like Spellmasters, I think. But absolutely love Mage Wars. If you get a chance to play it, worth every penny. The amount of gameplay you get out of this is insane. It is insane. Thank you so much for the board game redeem. I'm gonna put this back down here. Oh, in fact, I love it so much. I have this box. This box is empty. It's just up here to display. I bought 2 copies of the game, so that way I could have more spell books to use. That's how much I like that game. I bought 2 copies of it, and then that one is up there. That's just my display box. It's empty. Yeah, awesome. Let's get myself focused back in here. All right. Let's head back in to our game. So we were moving our dragon trolls. Thank you. Turn that dot cam off. All right. Octo Chris and Dramel. Sounds like things are going well. Octo Chris as well. On the Discord would be a good spot to have the conversation as well. If you get stuck, you can always ask on the Discord. And for anyone who doesn't know, we do have a Discord. A lot of good stuff going on the Discord. If you want to keep up with what's going on with Captain Coder, you want to see the schedule with your local times, you can find it on the Discord. You can suggest things that we're going to do. You can sign up to share your stuff on stream. And in the share section, post the projects you're working on. We want to know more. We want to know how you're doing. We want to know what you've been working on. All right. Octo Chris, I'm glad Dramlox was able to hear you. Awesome. Okay. So we have our drag working. We now need, so we've done a refactor here. We need to make it so our figures can be dragged from over here, right? Our figures current, see now, remember how I have the select? I can actually select figures now. There's a little bit of delay. So the map's not updating until I move off. But now I can click to select things. This is like the whole point of what we were doing. I've lost the ability to drag figures from here because I've removed the drag information from the figure itself, and it's on these tiles. So we actually need to put a new element. It's going to be a new element that is a draggable content that we're going to wrap things with. It's It's coding for 6 hours straight. It's definitely time for a break, Tani. Enjoy your break. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Only 6 hours. John says 6 hours is a long time to be coding. It's a long time to be coding. Wear you out. Wear you thin. Wear you down. And of course, VS Code is complaining again. Let's do a rebuild here. Rookie numbers. Let's reload this window. I feel like we're making some actually good progress here. I know we haven't added much, but the refactor is going well. Hopefully it's going to be in a place where once we have this basic stuff down, like we can start cruising. Getting your project in a place where you can manage that complexity is really important. And I'm learning a lot. I don't know this is the first time I've done this type of program. We'll be back after cooking some late lunch. Enjoy your lunch. I hope you're having something delicious. Okay, so our figure here, in our figure panel, what I'd like to have here is something that looks like this. Draggable element. So I don't know that I need to do draggable on it, but draggable like this. And this is going to say everything inside of this can be dragged. On drag start. And we're going to have a little thing that says on drag. And this is just going to be our... it's going to call on drag start. Oh, we need like the args here, so this will be an args. I mean, I'm like imagining what this is gonna look like. Args figure. This would be our mouse event. Mouse event, like that. And then this would be inside. So I'm imagining this component. Format's gonna do something weird. I'm imagining this component that's a draggable. It says things inside can be dragged. And then when we specify we have a delegate that says, okay, when we actually start dragging this, what do we want to do? Your airless, I'm really confused. It's super weird that you have them. John Lou, I'm not sure what your errors are what they mean. My guess, yeah, I don't even know NU1101s. Let's see what, I'm going to look up what that specific error is. Yeah, I don't know why it wouldn't be able to find them default. Did you open up the solution? Did you open the solution or did you open up a specific project? Does it say which ones are missing? Yeah, I don't know what that would cause there. Why that would be. All right, components. Let's create a new file. This is going to be our draggable component. And it's going to have child content inside. Let me go look at how I did it with my position figure. I have, or my element renderer. It's essentially going to look similar to this. It's a good question too, Smab. We need to have a child content. We can do a required here, I think. That lets us get rid of the null. Okay. And this, we want to have some drag events coming from above. So we'll have a... How do I tell it? So I know how to do it from the command line. .NET restore is how you would do it from the command line. Yeah, I think NuGet is, yeah. All right. So just to get this going, we need to add in a delegate as well. So our delegate is going to be public on drag. Yeah, public event callback. Is that right? Event callback of mouse event args on drag. Should really be on drag start. Parameter. This one's also going to be required. Delegate type cannot be inferred. On drag start. Okay. So get the compiler happy. That's half the battle. Maybe even more than half the battle, if I'm completely honest. And then we need to make it, let's make sure we're still rendering. So these things now have a draggable wrapping it. We want to add in a CSS file for these. Draggable elements, like so. That's really weird. Do you know? Yeah, I don't know. Give me a second to finish this, and maybe we can do a screen share to see what's going on. I don't know. But yeah, let me see if I can finish up what I'm doing here. This would be a draggable element. I'm curious if the mouse events, and just to make sure this is working, we'll do a border 1 pixel, 2 pixels, solid black, solid red. Sometimes the CSS changes, but I'm hoping this will get a red border around everything here. Yeah, okay. So display what do I need to change the display to? I think it would be, oh, why did the display, that's weird. Why did that go away? Is it? I don't want it to expand an entire area. It's like display inline block, or is it just display? How would I make it? Is it display? Inline's not quite right. Why is the width? This is me not knowing web dev. Me not knowing web dev. So if someone, I want this div to not occupy this entire left and right. I want it to take up just the space. It may need to be that it's not a div. Span might be what I want here. No. I was hoping span would it's almost like these need to be the element inside has a width that has a height. I want this container were these before figure renderer has a div of that. It knows its width, it knows its height, it knows it's a block. CSS div width of content. Oh, is there a fit content? Fit content. There we go. Width should be fit content. Fit content. I'm going to switch this back to a div. That's interesting that it wasn't the default source. Smab, really appreciate your assistance here. All right, there we go. All right, so now we have this thing here. This thing will have a drag associated. We're going to take that off there. So I just wanted to make sure that we had it. Keep this do black for now. Okay. I want to move my drag code in here as well. So I feel a little weird. It's not my element, my tile renderer has this code as well. It feels like there should be, I guess I could make this whole thing draggable. So each one of the, that might be how I do it. That might be the way to do it. All right, so these are the important parts of my drag. This might actually be the way to switch to using the HTML's drag and drop as well. So I'm gonna have like one type of element that can be dragged. Okay. Sweet, John Lou, I'm so glad you could get there. Smab, thank you so much for your assistance. Points, add, Smab. I know you don't like the point, Smab, but that was a great assist there. No one, very, very appreciated. All right, so mouse down, and our actual on check drag start. Okay. Actually don't even need, oh yeah, we do need this because this would be our on drag start.invoke args. So this will propagate it back. It's loading. Excellent. Excellent. So our on drag start here. Oh, it might actually. That was easy. Okay. Okay, we have all of our functionality back. Click the select isn't updating the element until it gets an event back here, so we'll have to fix that. But we can drag those in, so now we can like click to select an element. I think let's take this this off the border here, and our tiles are going to become draggables. So we're going to wrap these in a draggable. and we have to move select tile up as well. Because you'll notice this is like the code here is repeated. Let's see if we can do that. Before I do that, take a look here. CSS. Okay. Feet. Add. Smab, yeah, you know me. You know I like to do that. You know, Smab knows exactly like, you know, Captain Coder hate choosing the mouse. All my tools, it's because look how painful it is to use the mouse. Look how painful it is to use the mouse. All I want, you know, I'm resisting that urge. The only reason I'm doing it this way is because I'm like, okay, I'm in the web browser, I should do that. But all my tools usually just have keyboard controls. The keyboard controls are just easier to write. Harder to make them work well and be intuitive, maybe. I feel like my tools are always horribly unintuitive. Holy moly, we got a rock star here. JD, how's your adventure going? Welcome back to the stream. Folks, if you guys don't know, JD does dev.
If you want to feel like you're talking with Captain, let me see if I could do my
He does impersonations. Impressions, not impersonations.
I am not the captain, but my eyebrows also move in a way like the
JD,
captain.
I hope your trip's going well. I hope you are getting some rest in. I hope. Relax on it. It's going. I'm about to head to the conference. Good luck, my friend. Have a wonderful time. We just added a drag implement draggable component. Okay. So we're going to get that in there. What I want to do is my tile renderer should be wrapped in a draggable component. Did some car camming on the way here and got some ideas for Sudi. Very cool. One thing I worry, I'm going to try this, draggable. On drag start, we're going to do check. On drag start, start drag. Caveman Craft, and I'd love to see you get back into game dev. Love to see you get back into game dev. Game dev. Do it. Do it. All right, let's get rid of these. So this whole thing becomes a draggable. Dame give. Yeah, the old Dame give. Get rid of the mouse down. Still have the mouse enter. I'm worried that it's going to be intercepting these. So I'm worried the clicks are no longer going to work. I have our board on mouse enter, has tile, select tile. Okay. How do we do? Is that all I need it to do? Let's find out. All right. Can I still add tiles? I can still add tiles. That's a good sign. I can still erase tiles. I can't drag. Can add things there. All right, there's something I can click. Oh, maybe I can. Maybe I had. I wonder if it was the tool I had select. I had erase selected. No, I don't know what's going on there. I hate when I cannot. All right, but we can click these things. We can select them. Maybe it was just my imagination that I couldn't click and drag. Okay. Science Streams. Welcome back, my friend. How are you today? You know, Valent, I love you. I hope you're having a beautiful Monday today. What are we doing for Microscopy Monday, Valent? Folks, if you guys want to see an incredible science communicator and streamer, go check out Science. Science, I do some wonderful stuff. You're welcome. I think with that is that song in no, that's 4/4. Some pond water, amber, and a special guest on coffee science. I gotta make it. You know, the bean water. Coffee science. Oh man, I gotta be there. I gotta be there. Okay, so now we can select these things. That's all I wanted to be able to do, is be able to select them. The bean water, yeah. Okay, so we moved our tile. This is cool. This is cool. I'm quite happy with this. Feeling quite happy about this change. All right, we refactor will update tile renderer to use draggable. Okay. Beautiful. I'm happy. Happy as a clam. Is that a term? Is that a thing? Or am I making it up? Happy as a clam. I've heard happy as a clam before. Are clams like traditionally, is it like a happy animal? Got an odd question. Do you by chance know any research for creating an in-game compass that rotates based on the direction of a game object? I don't have one off the top of my head. I don't have it off the top of my head. So would it be like a UI element? Oh, am I only saying half of the saying, Smav? Happy as a clam? So like, let me ask the question, Caveman Crafting, just to understand. Is this not plugged in? Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. You have like a UI. You have a UI. Is your game 2D or 3D? How do I draw circles? There must be a way to draw circles. What's the circle button? Is it Alt? I don't know. All right, so just UI. Do you have 2D or 3D? 2D or 3D. So you have a compass. You want it to point a direction. Are we 2D or are we 3D? I gotta know. Top-down 2D. Okay, top-down 2D. And you want to know... So you have like a player object. There's a player object. And you want to know relative to the player. All right, so we have player. And we have a target. Blue is a terrible color. Target. Okay. Let me ask the question. All right, so your compass is down here. And you want it to point at from the player to the target. Is that correct? So the way I would do it is I would probably orient my game object to point straight up to start out. And there's a function, I forget the exact function, but you can take this game object. All right, so given two game objects, you want to find, oh, okay, not even that. You want your more of showing the player's alignment. I don't understand that question. So the player has a direction of facing, so the player's facing this way. So like the player has a direction they can face. Showing markers. Okay. All right, so you want to put a little marker. All right, so in this case, you'd have a green dot here. Is that correct? And a little green dot here. Maybe we have a purple guy down here. You'd show a little purple dot here. Is that correct? There's a function you need to write. Or that is probably already here. It says basically you have your player object. You want to find the vector. Find the normalized vector between these two things. So you want to draw a line between these two things. Okay, you need to draw a line between these two things. And then scale, this is how I would do it. And then scale it back so then it becomes a line. You just draw a line from here to here. So the center of this is always going to be your player. You end up drawing it there. Yeah, share a link, share a link. Let's check it out. I would probably use Unity find vector between 2 points. All right, find a line between two vectored 2s. Oh, so your compass is on... Okay. This is a little bit different than what I was doing. So you want this sort of be down at the bottom of their screen, showing which angle to rotate towards. Okay. All right. Find angle between 2 points, 2 vector, 2 unity. All right. Vector 2 dot angle. You want this. And you'll say, give me the vector between my two things. Find the vector between the two things. Then, yeah, so vector 2 dot angle, given two objects, what's the angle between them? If your character can rotate around, you'll have to also say, okay, and now normalize it based on my my quaternion. So there's going to be like a quaternion that you have to do as well. You might be able to do like a quaternion dot rotate to or rotate towards as well. But vector 2 dot angle will give you the angle between two objects. So this would be the starting part. Quaternions, they're like onions. They got layers and they make you cry. Ooh, Unity Coder, feel free to drop a link to that. Feel free to drop a link to that. Okay. So one last thing here that I want to do. We got this in. Of course, this is, now this is, I got to restart VS Code again. Here's one nice thing though, VS Code restarts really fast. Look how fast it reloads. I will say this, as my project gets bigger, that won't be true. But compared to something like Visual Studio or Unity, I always find that it loads very quickly. Oh, come on. Come on. You know it's there. You know it's there. You know you can find it. Come on. Go away, line. Zyro fans, welcome back to the stream, Zyro. Great to see ya. Okay. When I click... All right, we did all this work to make it so when we click on a thing, it'll highlight. And... Oh, cool. Smab, that's good. The last time I really used Visual Studio was 2019. So I think it's a pretty old, like 4 years ago, right? That's 4 years now. And most of my experience has actually been with not Visual Studio, but with the Visual Studio for Mac. I have had good experiences with Visual Studio in general. I just don't use it because my students use Visual Studio Code, but you guys knew that. You guys knew that. Okay, let's... My click... My board... The easy way to fix this is to send a message to my board that something has changed. You're welcome, Caveman Crafting. Good luck with it. Let us know how it turns out. Let us know how it turns out. If you want to ever share your game with us too, feel free to share it on the Discord. I always love checking out what people are working on. This is why the state is changing when you do the mouse over. We don't necessarily need to change everything, but this would be the easiest thing to do. When I click on a tile, it is modifying, it's actually modifying the state of the board render. Because it's actually changing the position figure. So I actually might need to go, not entirely true, we're changing, we need to have some sort of reference to this thing. I think just telling the board that it has modified might be the simplest thing to do. So my tool, we might register when our tool change, we have a change. Yeah, this is almost where we need this event being propagated back. Where it's saying, did something change? Do I need to update my board? Was there an event that happened to the board itself? We could also, the board isn't changing when I click. The board isn't changing when I click. So when I click this thing, I just clicked it. You don't see it. It's not until I move my mouse that we get that change. It's not until I move my mouse into a new tile. So I click, you can't see, but I just did a click. As soon as I move into another tile, so if I move within this tile, nothing happens. As soon as I move to another tile, it changes. And the reason this is actually rendering, it happens to be related here. It says when the mouse moves, we need to update the board. Which is a really silly thing to do. We're mousing over the board. Our tool should probably tell the board render to change or the figure itself to change. This is not really a great thing going here. I was gonna have it so when we moved over stuff, it would display like what tile position. We still want to be able to say like what tile position, but it's not necessarily needs to update the whole state of this board. So this is a little silly here. This is pretty hacky. Mendoza, welcome back to the stream. Hope you've been well, my friend. Happy Monday. We almost want to make, I'm a little torn. Part of me would say it might be helpful to have an event on our board when the board state changes. We could do that in different ways, though. We could actually, in our tool manager or in our sub tools, have an event somewhere. It might even be, well, then we need a reference to our board manager. This apparently isn't working. Oh, this is working actually. Sorry, I saw something here and got distracted. Yeah, this almost needs to be on our entire page. The click is... I do a click here. I'm curious. Proton! Thank you for the hat. How we doing, Proton? Hope you're well. What have you been working on? Hope you've been awesome. Thank you for the hat. We're almost out of time, but Proton, welcome back to the stream. So glad you're here with us. How's your Amiga project coming along? Still working on your Amiga demo? Folks, be sure to go check out Proton Fig. I was going to check here on Click. I'm curious. Console.WriteLine. Clicked. I'm trying to figure out the propagation. Been working with sorting, like a sorting algorithm. Index out of bounds. Yeah, this click is being ignored. I'm wondering. Very fast quicksort that run in the CPU cache. Just interested in a funny bug. I think you meant funny bug, not funny bacon. Ooh, a quicksort in the cache. That's hardcore. It's hardcore. We got to wrap up here, unfortunately. I wish I could stay forever, but I can't. I gotta get ready for work here. We need to consider how this click gets propagated through. What's the best way to propagate it through? I need to get rid of these things here as well. Oh, it is clicking. Hang on, is that coming from our board? No, because the board says clicked, question mark. But it does, we do get a click propagated through. Our figure tool, when something gets selected, we need to notify it to redraw itself somehow. I spend a lot of time with sorting stuff, and I think sorting algorithms are really cool or really enjoyable. My favorite is Demon Horde sort. Demon Horde sort. Demon Horde sort. Do we got a short version? See how the audio quality is on this. This is one of Dave Ackley's earlier.
Talk about robust first computing. It's what I've been working on, and show a demo of the Demon Horde sort, which is a particular approach to sorting that exemplifies this robust first idea.
How's the audio level?
Now we have computers that are extremely cheap and less weak, fairly powerful. And that culture of correctness and efficiency only, CEO software, is creating incredible security problems, the security nightmares that we're living with today that we kind of think they're sort of normal, when in fact they're crazy. So if we think robust first, we say, let's make sure we're in the ballpark and then try to get it better. The architectural goal is to be able to take this computational model and scale it indefinitely large, as long as we have money to buy the nodes and power to power them and space, real estate to plug them all together. To do that, we need to focus on robustness. This computer potentially could be so big, we cannot finish it before we start using it. We're going to be able to plug in more stuff while it's going. It's going to be so big that some fraction of it's going to be, getting repaired or crapping out one way or another as we go. The computations that we build have to be inherently robust so that we can slap this stuff together. In each site, it can either be empty or we can have an atom, one atom. And here's an atom. It's called DREG, stands for Dynamic Regulator. This diamond shape is called the event window. That is the limits of the number of sites that this guy in the middle can access when he executes. So there's 41 sites total. They're all within a distance of 4, counting in city block distance. When this guy in the center is executing, he can read and write to the event window arbitrarily.
Welcome
But once he
back,
gives
Ivor.
up control at the end of his event,
We're about
then
to wrap
some other
up
guy
here,
gets
but,
picked, and he
Proton's
can
talking about
rewrite the
sorting
event, which might be
algorithms.
overlapping, might be completely.
And I couldn't help but be reminded of this thing called a movable feast machine. This is Dave Ackley, computer science researcher, building what he's calling robust first computing, like highly be infinitely scalable. This sorting algorithm is really cool. I think it's really cool. It's a different approach to sorting in a how do we do sorting in a system where we have a robust computer where the CPU can fail frequently, but you have millions of CPUs, thousands of CPUs. Two nerdy nerds.
The movable
Great
feast
to
machine
see
as a
you.
whole can be executing many events simultaneously as long as none of their event windows overlap. Now, the way
Folks, if you want to watch some awesome game devs, be sure to follow Two Nerdy Nerds. Give them some love. Tell us about your game, Two Nerdy Nerds. Thanks for the link, Proton.
Dreg specifically works is this. When it behaves, it looks north, south, east, or west, one of those locations picked at random, to see whether it's empty or occupied. And for example, suppose it looks north, it's empty. When it's empty, it picks some random number, and with some low odds, it will create a resource atom, an atom called res, in that spot. And with a very low probability, instead of creating a res, it'll create another dreg. Okay, so dreg can reproduce into empty spots, but it's very low odds. On the other hand, if it looks in a direction, in this case, if it looks west, it finds it's occupied, it picks a different random number with a different probability, and maybe just erases the thing, whatever it is. Okay. At the end of the step, it diffuses. And in general, diffusion respects whatever constraints there are on the local layout. Okay, that's it. That's the dreg rule. We've got one dreg in it, and we'll start it up.
Oh man, this is such an
So
old
there, it
version
was just
of
diffusing
the
around.
movable feast
And
machine.
eventually, it will get lucky and decide to make something. Now, it can't destroy anything because it's the only thing that there is in the universe. There, it made a res. Let's get rid of the grid because it gets visually a little crowded. We're artificially slowing this down so that we can get a little clue what's going on. Let's let it run at its natural speed. And you see what starts to happen. If you
good
can read
question,
these numbers
Patrick.
over here.
QList is it's little game we play. We don't have time today, but if you want to redeem it, so QList is a Scrabble-like game that we can play on stream, where we roll dice and the dice have letters, and then we try and make words out of them. So there's no Q's, and that's why it's called QList.
There's currently 2, 1. There's 50 res, 60 res. And I put in
So let's fast
Dragon Res
forward
base
here.
and build things on top
We
of it
have
that will
these
compete.
sorting things. All right, so you can imagine a computer where you have all these computers that can move around. Think of this as a computation. And these things sort things they basically say, take a number. If it's bigger than me, move it lower than me. If it's bigger, we move it up. And a little bit hard I was hoping to get a little bit more here, but this is a giant computation. You can think of it as a chemical computer that sorts numbers,
And then the sorters will do their diffusion, and the dreg will do their diffusion and create res and so on. So let's take a look.
It's
at
really
its
cool,
behavior.
Eimer. Yeah.
All right. So
over
pretty quickly,
here on the right side, we have numbers coming in. These are random numbers being generated. The green things are generating random numbers. The blue things are actually numbers. And these resources move around in like a physical space. This is a simulator, but they move around in a physical space. And then over here are our acceptors. This is getting our numbers. And we want the biggest number should be at the top, the smallest number should be at the bottom. So this is called Demon Horde Sort.
we've now got a full stack of green input grid guys. It takes a while for the machine to warm up. The sorting error is 7 positions on average. That's pretty bad. If it should be the neighboring guy, that's a sorting error of 1, off by 2 guys, and so on. So a sorting error of, well, now it's down to 5, is, better, still not very good. Let's let this run quicker and start to equilibrate a little bit. Now we're doing a little better. The sorting error is like down to about 3.5 positions on average, plus or minus. It's not too bad. And the categorical error is 0.1%, sometimes never, over the course of a 500-step period. Not too bad. And this thing is embarrassingly robust. Unlike the correct first CEO approach.
So this is a type of computer you could literally take a shotgun, and blast a hole. You can imagine this is a computer. You can shoot a hole in the center of the computer. And the computer just keeps running. It just keeps running. Your accuracy decreases a little bit, but it just keeps running. And if you want to later come in and repair the computer, you can just like plug a new chunk of computer in here, and then it keeps running, and now it's more accurate. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Where you do something once, remember it, and then trust it from then on. Here, we are continually in the process of recreating ourselves. Or we can blow like 2/3 of the entire machine away.
There he did. He just,
and again,
you notice he blew up this chunk of the computer here has a little button that says blow up.
Now the score is definitely, the categorical error is up to a third. Sorting error is terrible. The thing is getting all jammed up here. So it takes a little.
So this is like an area of research, robust first computing. Dave Ackley here, one of my favorite scientists. Robust first computing, Dave Ackley. There's a few people doing it, but he is doing what you might refer to as artificial life, not artificial intelligence. Oh, this isn't who I was looking for. Oh, the T2 top product. Oh, this is cool. Yeah, this is an introduction here. If you're interested in robust first computing, if you think this is cool, I'd recommend go checking this guy out. Awesome stuff there. Proton sent us a link about sorting algorithms. Oh, visualizing quicksort. Or is it visualizing a bunch of different sorting algorithms? Oh, it's just quicksort. Okay. Is there a play button? Can I run? I have to click through. All right, so this is showing us quicksort. Yeah, these are cool. So quicksort's a really fast sorting, in-place sorting algorithm. So you don't have to create a new array here. This is cool for learning. Awesome, Proton. Thank you for sharing this. Looks great. And we can swap between them. I want a thing that plays it. I want to press a button and have it play here. Can swap between them. Really cool. Proton. Thank you. Proton. Points. Add Proton. Thank you so much for sharing that. Look left. Yeah. So these different ones here. I do have to get out of here. Yeah. Check Radix. Yeah, Radix is doing it's often called buckets. Oh, no. Radix sort is a little bit different than bucket sort. So it puts these things into, this is similar to how you can do hash maps. Yeah. I love the explanation here. I have to bookmark this. This is great. All right. I do got to get out of here. Let's find someone to raid into. Sorry, Proton. I do have to get out of here. I got to get to work. Let's go raid Practical NPC. Go raid. Oh, maybe C# Fritz. Let's do some C#, more C#, and we're doing Blazor stuff. Let's go raid C# Fritz. All right. If you guys like C# development, C# Fritz is incredible. He's currently doing a fundraiser for Jude. Jude as well.
Right. So there's my solution. There's web.
He's an incredible streamer, incredible resource.
So I want to
I wish I could get over there more often. We're gonna raid C# Fritz though. He's doing a fundraiser. Right. Be generous if you can. St. Jude fundraiser. Incredible streamer.
And the service default.
I gotta get out of here, Proton. I'm so sorry. So have a beautiful day, everyone. We'll be back on Wednesday. Keep coding, keep growing, keep being the best you can be. You're welcome back anytime. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.